Hello, great people. Thank you for joining us. I am Chidi Akunna.
And I'm Victor Akunna.
Hey, if you're new to our channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. I would like to say thank you to every returning subscriber for engaging with us. Thank you. All right, so we've come your way with something really interesting. How to recognize an abusive partner. And this is for single people who are in a relationship. Because sometimes we've had this. It's really heartbreaking when you see people go all the way to marriage, they get married, and then they come back to you and they say to you, I saw some of these signs, but I didn't think it was that serious. And so we've come your way today, putting this out there for the benefit of anyone who is watching this. How to recognize an abusive partner. They say love is blind, but that shouldn't be the case. It's very saddening when you hear people say love is blind and marriage is an eye-opener. No, it shouldn't be. You should walk into marriage with your eyes open, knowing what you're walking into. All right. So when you see behaviors that make you feel concerned, you need to pause. All right, and then assess things. Someone would watching this might be wondering, what is abuse? Okay, simply somebody might say it's just abnormal use. Okay, and then if we're coming into relationship, anything that causes harm or distress.
Yes.
All right. Or someone just violating your boundaries. Hey, as a human being, you should have boundaries. Honor yourself enough to first of all know what your boundaries are, because some people set boundaries and then they don't even know when the boundaries are being violated. Okay, so when someone starts violating your boundaries, then you should wake up, okay, and want to check things. I'll let you do some talking.
Yeah, to be honest, the thing about why are we doing this video? We're doing this video because relationship is part of life.
Yes.
You're going to meet people. You're going to meet different people. You're going to settle down with one of the people you meet. You want to build a life with this person.
Yes.
So it's very important that when it's time for you to make that decision to say, out of all these people, I'm going to choose this one person. It's important that you choose the person that will make your life better. Someone that you are going to add value to, while they also add value to yourself, to your life. So the problem comes when people choose people or an individual that is not good for them, an individual that puts a cap on their potential, an individual that isolates them. We could be getting into this. An individual that makes them want to shrink in order to please them. An individual that after 5 years of spending time with them, or that person, you look at yourself in the mirror and say that, what happened? I'm no longer that person that is a go-getter. I'm no longer that person that is happy. I at a slight drop of anything around me, a sound, I shudder. You've become a shadow of yourself, so to speak. All right. So relationships are designed to enhance us. Now, that doesn't mean that every sign that you see, any sign of disagreement or conflict, is a sign of abuse. No. So we are going to be pointing out what are the things that when you notice this, it doesn't mean end the relationship. It means pause. Pause will give you time to reflect, to give you time to see that, am I seeing this the way it is, or am I projecting my fears? All right. Ask somebody else. This, if you don't want to mention the name of your spouse to be, ask hypothetically. Oh, in a situation where something like this happened, how will you handle it? Of course, ask people history of giving sound, objective counsel. Very important. So that people will not send, because when you spend time with your friends, they get to know you. They know when you're concerned about something. So they might want to speak to what you want to hear. All right. Very important. So sometimes it's good to even speak to a professional as well. All right. So we're going to be looking at, as a single person, now that you've made a choice to settle down with one person, how do you notice an abusive relationship? Is this person an abusive person? Before you go all the way to marriage.
I like that. It's really, really important. And why is this important? You know, there are different types of abuse. It's not just physical. Sometimes when we say abuse, people think it's just physical. We have verbal abuse, emotional abuse. Okay, which is linked to psychological abuse. We have financial abuse. Yes, we'll be talking about that as well. All right. So, some experts came together, and the best way they could define this is to say pattern of behavior which is designed to control another. Okay, pattern of behavior which is designed to control another.
Fantastic.
So what are these behaviors? We'll be talking about some of these things. Okay, and the first one we have for you is that this person discourages you from maintaining contact with your support system.
Yes.
Discourages you from maintaining contact with your support system. Why is this really, really crucial? Your support system are people who know you very well. Okay, like he was saying, they know. They can tell you the truth looking you in the eye. Okay, they know when you're beginning to change. They know when you're not acting like your usual self. All right, he was talking about people who panic at the slightest thing. All right, you just see yourself suddenly start panicking because you're in this relationship. Okay, your support system, they have been with you. There are people you fall back to. You run to them when there's a problem. Okay, so more or less they know a lot about you. When someone new comes into your life like that and wants to disconnect you from them, all right, it just starts subtly, and they start asking you, who are you? Who is that? Why does she keep calling? I wouldn't want you to keep speaking with her. You should be asking questions. Your sister calls, and then someone who's just coming to your life, he's just coming to your life, is beginning to query why you're speaking to your sister. Now, in saying this, we have to be careful, because yes, there are sisters who probably do not have the right values.
Yes.
Okay, and someone who's coming to your life is reasonable enough to identify that, because your sister may even be the abuser in this case.
Yes.
Okay, and this person who's coming to your life is trying to point out something. Okay, but when this person begins to have a problem with everybody, all right, he's just concerned about you maintaining contact with everybody. Okay, it's your sister today, tomorrow it's your dad, the day after it's your mother. Hey, alarm bells should start ringing. Why is this person so insistent on me not being connected to the people who have been connected to for life? Then you should be asking questions. You should be assessing things. Okay.
Fantastic. I like what you said. You said pattern of abuse. You know, there's something we say to people. Don't just listen.
Pattern of behavior.
Of behavior, I beg your pardon. Pattern of behavior. The word emphasis for me here is pattern. So it's not a one-off thing. It's a pattern. It's consistent. All right. So someone is consistent in doing something, that shows you a pattern. And there's something we always say to people. Don't listen to just promises that people are making. Study their patterns. Because in their pattern, you see their consistent mode of behavior. Then you can know that this person is a chronic abuser, all right, not a one-off thing, all right. So that's one key thing. Now, the question, another point I want to point out here is, how do they actually isolate people? Sometimes by pointing out the weaknesses in the people that are close to you.
Yes.
Everybody, guess what, will have a weakness.
Of course.
All right. So there will be something for them to point out. All right. So after a period of time, they will brainwash you and you begin to alienate you. The goal is to isolate you. You know, there is something that's been happening around, and people are, you know, about domestic abuse. And one particular thing that one of the sister of this person that was abused said something. They said that the abuser said, made a promise to her. I said, I'm going to separate you from your twin sister. That's the goal of an abuser, to separate you from someone that is so close to you. Another way they try to separate you is by bombarding your mind. So texting regularly, calling you every minute, you know, oh, where are you? Oh, how are you? I was just thinking about you. They are, you know, it's normal. The beginning of every relationship, there's often intense communication, but this kind of communication is overboard, that you know in your heart, you know, because you have a conscience, you know that there's something off about this. You know, every moment during the day, you are always constantly on your phone. All right.
And the sad part is, some people start making excuses. Oh, he loves me so much. That's why he's calling.
Yes.
Oh, after all, my friend's partner never calls.
Yes.
And she has that problem. I don't have that problem.
Yes.
All right. So we're trying to wake you up. Please,
Yes.
you need to be checking.
Yes. And one of the goals is that they want to fast track the relationship to the point where you make a life commitment. All right. So the moment they come into your relationship, oh, let's move in together. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, I'm going here. Let's do this. Let's do this. They are bombarding you with your thoughts. And so they don't want other people that will give you a reality check to help you, to hold up a mirror to you to say, this is not normal. So they kind of point out. So the whole plan is to isolate you, because when they can isolate you, then control will be easier for them.
Yes. Valid point. Okay, so the next point we'll have for you here is regularly shames you. Regularly shames you. Okay, someone keeps doing that to you. The person is tearing down your emotional strength. All right, and your self-esteem, your worth. All right, I had this person who was talking to me and said they would be in the shopping, and then he would be telling her off at the till. All right, with people watching. It's not normal. It's not normal. That is unacceptable. All right, he speaks to you anyhow. Sometimes he comes and you say, oh, we're throwing banters, or he's throwing a jab at me, or it's a light one, it's on a light note. No. Okay, if it's persistent, then you need to be checking. All right, as long as it makes you feel off, it makes you feel less. At that point, then you should be speaking up. All right, I don't like the way this makes me feel. And if that person is excusing it, they're making excuses for that, or trying to explain it away, then, and it's not getting the message, then you need to assess things. Yes, really critical.
Fantastic. So one key thing about this is this. One of the things that makes us who we are, that makes us achievers, that makes us go for big things, is because of our perception of ourselves. The kind of jobs that you apply for, the kind of friends, the kind of circles, the kind of places you aspire to, is a reflection of your self-esteem. So you see some people, they don't apply for some kind of job. In their own estimation, it's this kind of company and it's not for people like myself. All right. So when someone is coming for your sense of self-worth, they are trying to brainwash you to the point where you don't feel that you deserve somebody better. And that's why you are wondering, how can somebody be in a relationship and they suffer this degrading, consistent abuse and they never leave? Because their sense of self-worth has been taken away from them. Their power to stand up and go. That's why people just say, oh, why not don't leave? It's not that simple. Because the people we're talking about here are intelligent women, intelligent men. But you're wondering, what happened? Because an abuser is skilled at his trade. She's skilled at what she does. So first of all, that thing that will make you feel like I can survive without this person is taken away from the person. And so once that is taken away, you just see someone that used to be a giant behaving if you sometimes I saw a story of a massive elephant was conditioned from when it was just a little elephant. It was tied to a tree and the elephant tried to move away, to cut it off, tried for a long time. The elephant, after a while, the limitation in the outward, all right, by tying a leg to the strong tree, transferred to the mind of that elephant, to the point that when that elephant became a massive elephant that just one little pull, the tree will pull off. The elephant didn't make the effort to cut it. Why? The elephant had been conditioned. Even though that rope is no longer tied to the tree, it's just tied around the leg, the elephant just believed that I cannot move. Why? Years of conditioning. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's what an abuser. So if you notice someone who's taking away your sense of self-worth, don't negotiate that. That's what makes you a winner. That's your winning card. Once you lose that card,
Awesome. Okay, so the next point we have for you is this person has close associates who abuse their partners. Has close associates. So someone would say, oh, what has that got to do with me? It's got everything to do with you because evil communication corrupts good manners.
Absolutely.
Okay, over time, all right, this you keep spending time with a kind of people, you will begin to adopt some of or imbibe some of their traits. Okay, it's just normal. You don't control these things. It happens in the course of laughter, in the course of eating. Okay, and things are flying around, words are going around. They are hitting your gateways, your ears, your eyes. Okay, you're getting it. You're shifting. Your perspectives on some matters are shifting. That's how it happens. Okay, when you're least aware of it, okay, it just happens. Okay, the orientation takes place. So someone like that keeps spending time with people who abuse their partners, and they laugh about it. They talk about it. Oh, she can't dare talk to me like that. She talks to me like that. I hate her. Okay, and they think it's okay. And the person you're in a relationship with is with these people, does not speak about it and say why it's wrong to do that, and it's okay. Even if you're not speaking, over time you'll begin to explain it away in your head, like, okay, it's all right, it's normal. Okay, your guards start dropping on that issue. And that's why it's really important. That's why it affects you. Yes.
There's something that I learned when I was much younger that says, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. In other words, our inner circle is a reflection of who we are. All right. So maybe your spouse to be did something and you are second guessing. Was it intentional? Was it one of the ways you can check is to see who are the people in their inner circle? How do they treat their spouses? How do they treat the people closest to them? This will give you this will open your eyes to what you are about to contend with. So this is an endemic mode of behavior. This is a pattern. This is not an once in a lifetime, once in a blue moon kind of thing. So once you observe that the people close to them, they all have that trait, girl, boy, maybe it's high time you don't just pause, you take off. Why? Because even if when they want to change, as long as they maintain those close ties, they're going to pull them back. Why? Because it's amazing that they say one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. But if you so one apple that is bad, all right, can spoil about 7 other apples. Just leave it there for a while. You see what will happen. But it does not work the other way around. All right. So all those 7 apples cannot change that one.
Sure.
You see. So even if your partner wants to change, but they maintain those ties, it's very difficult. Why? Because, like she said, they are conditioned. They have accepted a way of thinking. All right. These things are contagious.
Reprogramming.
They are being reprogrammed. That neural pathways have been created in their brain. So it's difficult for people. That's why it's difficult for people to change. All right, because there's a way of thinking have been hardwired into our mindsets, into our brains, such that that's just the natural thing that you do. All right, it's become a competence.
Yes. Okay. So one other point we have for you today is excessive silent treatment. Yes. Excessive silent treatment, right? Yes, in a lot of relationships you have silent treatment. Okay, but when it's excessive, why is this important? You were saying something. You're talking about abusers understand they are skilled. All right, so they understand how to go after the prey.
Yes,
they know people who are low in probably esteem, and so they target these people, right? And then when you get into a relationship with them, they sometimes then play the silent treatment because they know it will get to you. All right, something happens, you complain about something which you should be complaining about, and they don't like that you complained about it, and then they stop talking to you. They go quiet on you. Sometimes they ignore your calls. You keep calling for days, and then they make you the one who starts feeling guilty. So you start apologizing. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to. The fact is, he did something wrong in something you raised. All right. So he shouldn't make you begin to think that you were wrong for raising an issue. All right. And that's why we should be looking out for people who are flexible, people who are teachable, people who are open to learning.
Wow.
All right. Not someone who is set. When you're in a relationship with someone who is set and thinks that you have no right to complain, you have no right to point out a blind spot, then you should be looking at it again. You should be reassessing things. All right. So excessive silent treatment every time he just goes off, and you're beginning to get used to it. He's beginning to condition you to believe that there's a problem with you. You're the one who's always complaining. Check things out.
So they are making you look like you're crazy. They're making you question your own reality, your own understanding of reality. All right, they're making you feel like you're overreacting.
Yes.
All right, because though despite the fact that you are complaining about boundaries that are being broken,
yes,
they're making you feel
boundaries.
They're making you feel like, what's that? All right, so anyone that makes you question your own reality, you need to check again. All right, that's just what we're trying to point out here. Very important.
I know this lady who was saying that she had told this person he would usually hit her on her bum. She didn't like it. For her, at that point, you're violating her boundary. Yes, I'm in a relationship with you. I don't think it's okay for you to be hitting my bum. All right. For her, that's something that should happen when we're married. Okay. And she raised it. And he was not happy. And he walked away. They had gone out to eat. And he walked out. And she kept calling. And she was apologizing. Okay, I'm fine. Next, after a few days, they got back again, started talking. Things were all right. And then before he knew it, he tried to kiss her. I said, no, you don't do that. It's her boundary. Right. So you don't just think because you're in a relationship, does not give him a right to do certain things. You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
So by the time he thinks it's okay to get you ruffled, to touch you in certain ways, and you're allowing it, you know you're uncomfortable, but because he gives you the silent treatment, you start lowering you stop talking, you're still uncomfortable, you feel tense about it, but you lower your guard, you're not talking. He's emotionally abusing you.
Yes.
He is.
So that silent treatment is a way of punishing you for not behaving the way they want you to behave. All right? An abuser wants to control your behavior, wants to tell you what to be angry about or what not to be angry about, how to manage your emotion. That's the whole idea, the whole concept. All right? So don't allow that to happen.
Yes.
Very important. Silent treatment is when someone doesn't talk to you, withdraws conversation, withdraws emotional availability for the purpose of getting your attention, for you to do something. All right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So another point we have for you is this person is not accountable to anyone.
Ooh.
It's not accountable to anyone. I mean, who lives life like that? You've got to have someone you're accountable to.
Good question.
All right. You don't just live life without having anyone you're accountable to. Some people
like
are
an
single.
Emotional nomad.
Yes, I like that. Some people, because they're single, are accountable to their parents. Yes, when they're losing it, they know their parents can call them to order. Some have siblings who can call them to order. What is this you're doing? Why are you doing this? All right. It is important. Check your life. If you don't have anyone you're accountable to, I think it's about time you reassess things. Okay. You should have someone who can look you in the eye and tell you, I think you're wasting a lot of time doing this. Why are you always playing video games? If no one is able to tell you that, honestly, it might just be that you have people who can say that to you, but because when they speak, your disposition is not right, you stop speaking. That's another thing. All right. So when you're in a relationship with someone who has no one this person is accountable to, and you're looking at it in that relationship, you speak, this person does not take what you are doing, you just carry on. The danger of what all the things we're highlighting is if you get into marriage, things won't just change. I think we'll put out that on our post,
on
our Instagram post, Foundation for Family Affairs. Again, we're saying people do not just change. Okay, that man, that woman may not change in marriage. Okay, so if you're seeing some traits, be sure that these are traits you can cope with. If they are traits you can't cope with, hey, let adjustments be made before marriage. People may not change in marriage. Some people later change, okay, over time. Some people make some adjustments, but you can't be expecting that. If you go into marriage expecting that he will change, you might be, like we said, it would become a frustrating experience for you. Yes.
As human beings, we are, if we have not been redeemed, all right, we are capable of of the most vile thing possible as human beings. All right. There's a scripture that comes to my mind. It said, "The heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can search it?" All right. Look at okay. I don't want to use an example that is temporal. That is, But the thing about it is, you will never understand how far you can go. The capacity for animosity, the capacity for bitterness, the capacity for revenge, the capacity for something that is, you can't. So what I'm trying to say is that the reason why we need to be accountable to people. All right. So if you don't have people that call you to a higher standard in your life, you'll be shocked how far you just drift. It's like a massive ship that is by the river side or by the seashore. All right. The reason why they need an anchor as big as decorated warship, fishing ship, whatever it is, carrying thousands of containers, without an anchor, that ship will drift away. All right. So as human beings, we need an anchor. That anchor that keeps you grounded is the accountability partners, the people that are accountable in your life. So if you have a guy, you have a woman that doesn't have anybody in their life, alive, not dead people. All right, not like somebody that they look up to, but it's not alive. Somebody that is alive that can pick up a call and say, "Victor, what is this I'm hearing? Is this true?" That saying their call will make you be like, what? That will bring you back to your reality, keep you grounded. If someone doesn't have such people, you'll be amazed how much you drift off. All right. That's why when people set New Year resolutions, because nobody's holding them accountable, by the end of January, they've forgotten, they've drifted out to some other thing that is trending. All right. So without you having people that are grounded, that'll keep on holding you to say, you said you're going to do this at this time. What is happening? You said you're going to do this at this time. Same thing in relationship. If you don't have people that hold you to a higher standard, and you're in a relationship with such people, when they begin to maltreat you, nobody in their inner circle will be able to caution them. If you don't have people like that, you'll be amazed at how bad you'll go. I'm telling you, you'll be shocked at yourself. So let's not get to that point where we think that we are above authority figures. There is a reason why. That's why I like the military in explaining this. There's a reason why we have 5-star general, 3-star general, lieutenant, and all those. It's a chain of command. Same thing for life. All right. So as human beings, you need people like that in your space. And if the person you are in love with despises authority figures, all right, help them to deal with that. And if you can, pause. Very important. Yeah.
Okay, so the next point we have for you is that this person polices and controls your every move.
Every move.
Okay, just wants to be in charge of everything. Where are you going? Where are you? Turn on your camera. Let me see. Who are you speaking with? Decides who you speak with. Everything. And you just feel like that you don't have liberty to be you.
Yes.
Okay, you feel restrained. You're not married.
Yeah, like you're in an emotional prison.
I mean, even in marriage, people shouldn't feel restrained. Okay, there's that freedom.
Yes.
There's that freedom to be you.
Yes.
Freedom to be who God has made you to be. Okay, when this person starts policing you like that, then you need to check things.
Where there is love, there is liberty.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Where there is no liberty, there is no love. All right. There's no love. So you have to have that kind of, when you feel that every time you have to explain yourself. All right. Someone it's okay if the person is, maybe you are traveling on a long journey, the person is just trying to find out. Remember our definition?
Yes.
Pattern. All right, this is a pattern. The person does it every day, every day. And you always, that's when you are working with someone and someone is talking to you, you are having to see yourself, okay, that person is this. You are over explaining. You are having a chat with a colleague. You are over explaining.
Yes. I think we were having this conversation earlier today, and we were saying, the thing about checking phones, accessing phones. Okay, when even in marriage, okay, if you're fond of wanting to check, because yes, we said it's about your motive. Why are you checking your spouse's phone? Okay, there are people who check it because there are people who forget things, and their spouses kind of help them to keep tab. Hey, you missed this email. I think you need to respond to it. Okay, but there are people who go, I think instead of using the word checking, I'll use prying. Yes,
that's a better word for this
situation. So
situation.
at that point, it means that there's a lack of trust in that relationship. Just speaking to what you were saying earlier. Okay, so when this person is policing you, controlling you, there's a lack of trust already. And every relationship, the base of every relationship should be trust. There should be trust in a relationship.
Absolutely.
So if you're going on with this relationship, you need to know, I'm signing up for life. I'm signing up for this kind of thing for life. Okay, so it's either this person tries to pull back to check himself again. Why do I distrust her? Why do I struggle with trusting this person? Because it might be an impact from a previous relationship, okay, or a previous experience. So those things need to be checked. So that's what we're saying. But you need to pause and have these things assessed. Yes, very important. Okay, so another point we have for you is that the person takes control of your earnings. We're talking about financial abuse earlier. This is where it plays out. Okay, you work. You're not married. I mean, and then the person is asking you to submit your money to him, your earnings. Okay, we've seen this with people we've talked to. Okay, people we've coached, right, on our intimacy builder coaching program. Okay, and they're saying to you that the person asked them to submit their earnings at the end of the month, and they had to do this religiously. You need to check it.
Sometimes what they do is that they try to borrow money that they never repay. Yeah, I have this business deal because you are in love. Because you want to contribute to their journey of success. You give. All right, and then
or a loan.
It's a loan that turns into personal property. And then the next time around, they are coming again without making reference to the previous money you've loaned them. They're asking you for something else, and then for something else, and then you notice that this is a pattern. That this person doesn't really. There's always one project and then another project, another project. That's another way of, if I can't control your money, I will help you spend it. I will allocate. I will budget. I will leave a quality standard based on your own expense. All right. Yeah. If you've not watched this stuff on Netflix, what's the name of that? The Tinder swindler.
Oh, okay.
That was one thing. What did he do? You first of all give money, and flatter, and
makes you think
he has a lot of money. Yes. Then once he has programmed you that way to make you see him like a very wealthy person, then he now begin to place demands and now begin to ask you to make ridiculous financial decisions. And that's one of the ways.
Okay, and just in case you've not noticed, this is the 8th point we have for you today.
Yes, a bonus point.
Yes, rather than making suggestions, this person insists on making major life decisions for you. All right, so an example that captures it so well for me is there was this lady who said she wanted to go to filming school. Right, and this young man came. I was like, no. That's not the way. That's not. I mean, she's had this all her life. She's been planning for this, and she just suddenly met this man who thought, "No, you will be going into a business." It's okay if this person is suggesting, but when the person is insistent, this is what you have to do because I say so. You've just met this person. Okay, so you need to be checking things because if he's suggesting now, you're not married. What will he be doing in marriage? He will dictate your life practically. Okay, he will give you an assignment for your life if you don't have one. So yes,
if you're in a relationship where you feel choked, you feel like you don't have your individuality, you are losing some form of your personal identity is being challenged, that anytime you are constantly shrinking and reducing who you are in order to make this person happy, it's not a good sign. All right, so one of the ways people do that is that they try to make decisions about your career, try to make your decision about where you go, what you do, what offers. Maybe you have 3 offers. What offer to choose? No.
Yes.
All right. It's okay if they suggest, of course, but someone who loves you want to make, I think this because of this. But this is the job you need to do because we need to do this. Excuse me.
Okay. So, I mean, if any of the things we've talked about resonates with you, let us know, okay, in the comment section.
Yeah.
If you have other points you think we've not talked about.
Yes, let's hear.
Let's hear from you, please. Okay. If you have friends, people, close associates, who you think will benefit benefit from this, please feel free to share this with them.
Yes.
And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Foundation for Family Affairs,
Click
please
it.
hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our
Click it.
content. We have a link for you in the description box. That's the link to our coaching program,
Yes.
Intimacy Builder Coaching Program. If you're single, if you're engaged, if you're married, and you think that you need the assistance of a coach on some of these things we've talked about, please hit the link and we'll meet you on the other side. It's been a pleasure doing this. So we'll see you on the next one. Enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.